Yo, 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 another guitar lesson. We got Dean York here. Appreciate you, Dean. You've been engaged in the channel and watching some of the videos, and you always have good comments and you share. So I appreciate that. You mentioned the other day you're working on C major 7th arpeggio and was told that you could play D Dorian because it was the C scale, in the C scale. That confused me a little. Yeah, so here's the thing. Just be weary of when you're listening to any kind of music theory advice from anyone, because there's so much nuance going on with some of this stuff that it gets really confusing. So if you were my student or my musician friend, and I was playing with you and you told me you were working on the C major 7th arpeggio, there's no way I would start talking about D Dorian. It really, that they have very little to do with each other, stand alone. If you're practicing a C major 7th chord, that's great. That is to be used ideally over a C major 7 chord, right? So if I looped like a C major 7 chord here, let's see here. So there's my C major 7 chord. There's my arpeggio. So when I'm doing that, I'm really doing a couple things here. And I encourage you, if you are working on your arpeggios, work with a loop pedal, work with a backing track that has the chord so you can really hear how these notes respond and how they harmonize. Because that's the whole point here, is if we're going to study this guitar and we're going to take the time to study these patterns, we should be able to develop our ear so that we can understand and at least know what to expect when we're playing, right? So that's what I would be doing. Now, how does this relate to Dorian? So let's take a look. Now, I'll tell you probably what this person was referring to. I'll play D Dorian with the C major 7 loop here and see what that sounds like. Doesn't want to resolve on the D. That's the D Dorian. That's the 2. Wants to resolve on the 1. So, of course it does, right? So, let's talk about this. This is why things get confusing. Now, when I was playing that scale, of course it sounded good. It sounded fine. And the reason it sounds fine is because it is in the key of C major. So, there's truth to your friend telling you that, and it is a way to play and get different ideas over a C major 7 chord. So that's all true. But what's going on is you're not hearing the Dorian scale. So that's I guess that's really where the crux is we should be really thinking in two mindsets here. We have in one camp, we have the Dorian shape. The other camp, we have the Dorian sound. Okay? If you play the Dorian shape over a C major chord, you're just getting the C major sound because it's over a C major 7 chord and everything's relating to the C major 7 or the key of C. So no matter what you do in the Dorian shape, you're not going to hear the Dorian sound, but you are going to get some more ideas within the key of C major or over that C major 7 arpeggio. For example, if I play that Dorian scale and end on the D, I'm getting there is a 9, a C major 9 sound. Not Dorian. Okay? So that's the shape. The shape is useful to spread the patterns across the fretboard so that you can use more of your fretboard. So if I know you know the C major scale, and I know you know the D Dorian scale, okay, and I'm a friend or a teacher and we're jamming in C major, I might say, go ahead and use that D Dorian shape, because it's an extension of the C major scale, okay? So now if we want to get the D Dorian sound, we need to be playing against a D minor chord. So I'll do that real quick. So now the D resolves. So that's going to be the D Dorian sound. Now, what would it sound like if I played the C major shape over the D Dorian? Or over the D minor, excuse me. Still sounds like D Dorian. Okay, so the shape and the sound are this is what gets everybody confused. Shape or sound. Most of the time, if you're getting people to tell you to play, you can use Dorian here. It's basically they're saying you can use the shape. It can extend the pattern. If you already know that shape, then you can play more of the key of C. Or in this last example, since I knew we were in D Dorian, since I knew the C major shape, I can use the C major shape. But it's going to give me the D Dorian sound. Okay? And the only other, I guess, words of wisdom I would like to pass along to you, and this is just kind of an analogy, and this might really kind of bring it home. If you were in like a class, let's say you were in a painting class, or you were painting, and let's say the object was to paint a tree, and they had different canvases you could paint on. Let's say one canvas was just an outer space canvas, and then the other canvas, there's already like a field with a blue sky and the sun in it. No matter what you do, if you pick the outer space one and you paint a tree or you paint anything, it's going to be in outer space. If you do the field one, whatever you paint in the field, a house, a tree, whatever, it's going to be in the field. This is very similar to the modes. If I'm playing a C major chord and you play any of the modes in C major, it's going to sound like C major. You can't get around it because you're relating to the C major. So in hence, yes, you could use the Dorian mode, but you're not playing Dorian. You're playing C major because it's bouncing off the C major scale. That's the relationship you're hearing. Same with if I decide to switch to D minor, and let's say you were jamming in C major, and I just went to D minor, and you just kept jamming in C major. Well, you're still playing the C major shape, but now it's sounding off the D minor. It's giving you the D minor, the D Dorian sound. So I hope this helps you, Dean. I appreciate the question, and if you have any more questions, hopefully this makes a little bit of sense. And again, it's really about the shape and the sound. Which one are you working on, the shape or the sound? Because you can work on all of the shapes. You can work on all the modes of the shapes and never actually play the modes, because you might just always be jamming in major keys, or maybe you're always jamming in minor keys. So you're always getting the minor mode sound, the 6, the Aeolian mode. So yeah. Hope this helps, and peace out.